My name is Melanie Good, and I am a faculty in the Physics and Astronomy department. I enjoy imparting knowledge about science to students, but I also enjoy trying to convey a certain way of thinking. And the problem-solving nature of physics, I think, is applicable to a lot of areas of life. Trying to help students develop that way of thinking, I think, is the thing that I would like them to get out of the class at the end of the semester. My first undergraduate degree was in music education, and primarily I was teaching orchestra, so strings, violins. I lived right across the river from where the space shuttle launches occurred, and I became fascinated with the whole idea of astronomy, and I took a community college class, and that's really what got me started in shifting my career focus. After I had finished about a school year in Florida, I moved back to Pennsylvania to be with my then husband. We decided to start a family, and that kind of derailed my plans a little bit at first. But eventually, when my younger of the two turned 2, I said, I really want to go back, and I'm serious about this pursuit. My husband at the time wasn't very supportive, but he was kind of like, okay, if this is really what you want. I started at Pitt part-time then. It just became a source of contention between us. And there were other issues in the marriage that ultimately dissolved the marriage pretty rapidly. So I was a single mom while I was finishing my undergraduate degree here at Pitt. As a non-traditional student, it was almost impossible for me to find scholarship money or grant money, and on top of that, if I had to be in class, then I would have to pay a babysitter. So I resorted to living off of loan money, which was tough. And then logistically, it was tough as well. I had to figure out how to slot in classes with bedtimes, nap times, preschool. I felt so out of place. I thought everybody was looking at me like, what is she doing here? One memory that sticks out in my mind was that I was really desperate to study for a final exam, and everyone in my study group is meeting, and so I really just need to try and meet with them, and I'll just bring the kids along because I couldn't find anyone to watch them. And boy, the other students were not very understanding, some of them. They kind of give you this dirty look, and one of them was bold enough to ask me to go somewhere else, and I said, I'm a student here too. When you have a goal and you're really focused on attaining that goal, then you can think creatively about how to make that goal happen. It may not be easy, but if you have the drive, sometimes there are paths that will make themselves clear. I established a group of friends that did seem to be accepting, and we were able to support one another and work together on homework projects, and they were understanding that sometimes I couldn't be there if I had to be with my children and things of that nature. So I think that was really the key, is establishing a good support network. I kind of look at it like, well, I didn't get the top scores in every test and everything, but I underestimate the burdens and challenges that I was faced with that may have been unique to my situation. And given that, if I try to give myself enough credit where credit is due, then I can look back and say, well, that took some strength, that took some resilience to get through all of that. In my field, there aren't that many women, and in particular, if you are a woman and you're facing some of these unique challenges, it's possible to get there. It's possible to reach your goals. The personal struggles that you might be facing don't have to stand in the way of your dreams. I faced a lot of personal challenges with raising children and marriages falling apart, and financially as well. So there's a way to overcome these things, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel.